Hi and welcome back. The next videos in this section of the course are all going to be covering link building strategies that you can utilize to build backlinks to your website. I'm going to try and use different industries in each strategy I present to help give you a broader understanding of exactly how you can apply these to any industry out there. So without further ado, let's dive into the first strategy. Strategy number 1, guest posting. Guest posting or guest blogging is when you write an article for someone else's blog. It's a great way to connect with new readers and also get your name out there whilst also securing a backlink to your website. It's actually my favorite method as you're able to get links in just a few days, which is a massive win. The beauty of guest posting is that as you're writing the content yourself, you're able to pick the anchor text as well. This is super powerful, as I said in the anchor text video, as if you realize you're getting too many of any certain anchor types, then you want to avoid getting more of them, as this can look unnatural. With guest posting, you can do just this. You want to get guest post opportunities on sites that are relevant to what you do. It doesn't have to be a like for like, but the site should at least be in the same industry as yours, or at least have a category on their website which is similar to yours. For example, if you own a healthy eating blog, then trying to get a link from another healthy eating blog might be a little bit hard. However, what you can do is take one step back and guest post on a cooking website, as they would most likely have a section on their website for healthy eating recipes. Getting links from sites in the same niche as you helps tremendously when it comes to increasing the relevancy of your website, which, as I said in the last video, is super important. As you're securing a link from a website similar to your niche, you're also increasing the chances of generating referral traffic from that website onto yours too, which helps with brand exposure too. Hopefully you can see why I'm such a big fan of guest posting. Right, so how do we find these guest post opportunities? It's pretty simple when you use Google search operators. A Google search operator is something you search in Google with a little variation. For example, I have niche submit a guest post. This is what we call a Google search operator, as I've included speech marks in the search. So niche would simply be the niche you're targeting. This is a very handy one. There's another 4 more I'll show you. You can have niche guest post, niche guest post by, niche accepting guest post, and lastly niche write for us. Typically, websites that do accept guest posts will have a page on the site talking about how you can submit a guest post, the guidelines you need to follow, why you might want to write for them, and so on and so on. So essentially just bragging about how big the audience is and asking you to write for their website. We can use these search operators to find more guest post opportunities for our business. So that covers the theory of guest posting. So let's head over to Google now and show you exactly how this works in the real world with a live example. So I'm now over on Google, and as always, I'm not just going to go over the theory of a strategy, I'm actually going to show you a live example of exactly how this works. So what I'm going to do is simply search for some guest post opportunities by using one of the search operators which I showed you a few seconds ago. So I'm going to go for the one which was at the top, which was niche, speech mark, submit a guest post. So for the purpose of this video, let's pretend I operate in the niche of healthy eating. So I want to change the word niche to healthy eating blogs and then carry out a search for that. And as you can see, Google has returned 187,000 different websites, which all accept guest posts which are related to healthy eating. We've got submit a guest post, health and fitness by Iron Wild Fitness. We've got submit a guest post, ladies diet, and so on and so on. Now, if you carry out a search for your niche and you don't see that many results, what you can actually do is take one step back. So instead of searching for healthy eating blogs, we can actually just take healthy eating out and then simply search for cooking, as cooking is obviously an element which is involved when it comes to healthy eating. So as you can see, Google has now returned 258,000 different websites, which is a lot more than the first search. The reason why it's returned more now than it did before is because this term is a lot more broader and is not as specific as the first. So let's scroll down and have a look at the websites that Google has returned. In position 1, we have another one, bitesthecrustblog.com, which is quite interesting. Let's give that one an open. We've got bigguestposting.com. We've got bigguestposting.com again, worldlife.com, tons and tons of websites. So as you can see, this strategy is super powerful. Literally, with just in a few seconds, we have tons and tons of websites we can reach out to, all which accept guest posts. So let's go ahead and open this other one right here at the bottom of page 1, sweet2eatbacon.com. So let's have a look at the first website. So submit your guest post, food and cooking. This is a perfect example for us. The whole website is based on healthy eating, cooking, recipes, vegan food, and so on. And if you actually go through the page and read it, what it does is it actually tells you the guidelines that you need to follow if you want to get a guest post featured on this website. So if we scroll down the page, you can actually see the topics and titles which they are looking to have featured on the website. They've got beauty and makeup, which is quite interesting, not really related to healthy eating, but they've got salad, seafood, snacks, soup, vegan food, vegetarian food, so on and so on and so on. They even go on to tell you the benefits of having a guest post published on the website. So they tell you that actually have over 20,000 new readers. It's a very easy process, tons and tons of reasons why you should submit a guest post on this website. So really and truly, what this website is doing is kind of selling the website and giving you all the reasons why you should write for them. This makes it very easy for us to reach out to this website and actually get a guest post featured. If we scroll down more on the page, we can see we have further information on how to submit a guest post for publication. So it says just go ahead and send an attachment, put in your name, email, subject, and your message. Obviously fill in the capture form they have at the bottom, and then they will review your article for submission. And if it's a good article, it will get featured on this website. So as you can see, the process is very straightforward. However, before you rush out there and start submitting guest post opportunities to all these different websites, what you want to do is actually look at the website in SEMrush just to make sure it's actually a good website. So let's go ahead and take the website URL. So we only want the website name for this. We don't want the actual URL. So just another one bitesacrossblog.com. Let's go over to SEMrush and carry out a search. As from the surface, this website looks really good. It's really tailored down to our niche, which is great. However, you don't always want to judge a website by the surface. You always want to have a look at that website in SEMrush and see exactly if it is a good website. So this is essentially the same process that we follow when we evaluate what makes a good backlink. So if you remember what I said in that video, it was checking the website's domain authority, checking how many keywords this website appears for, how much organic traffic the website has, how many referring domains it has, and so on and so on. As if the website doesn't have really good numbers for those metrics, then it's probably not a website you want to get a link from. So let's go ahead and go over to SEMrush. We've carried out a search for that website, so it's time to review the data. So we can see the website has 125 referring domains, which is really good, as a number I recommend is 50 and above. However, the organic search traffic is very, very low. We can see that from the chart here as well. On average, this website gets 3 visitors every single month from Google. Now that isn't that much traffic at all. So when you see sites with not a lot of traffic, you always have to question if you actually want to get a backlink from that website pointing to your website. If we scroll down, we can see they only appear for 30 different organic keywords, which kind of makes sense as to why they have not that much traffic in total. So as you can see, it's really important to look at websites in SEMrush as well. You don't just want to base your decision based on how the website looks, which from the surface, it looks very nice, it's clean, responsive and modern. However, from an SEO perspective, it's not actually going to provide that much value to our website. So in this instance, this is a website that I would not go for. So let's look at the second website, which was sweet2eatbacon.com. Again, once we land on the page we found from Google, we can see we have lots of requirements about the guest post, what we need to do, make sure we have no typos, the size of images if we include them, how many words our guest post should be. And again, there's a little form within the page, which is how we can submit our guest post for submission. So let's do exactly the same thing. Let's take this website URL and we'll go over to SEMrush and let's simply carry out a search for this so we can review the data and see if this is actually a really good site to get a guest post on. So the data has now populated, and as you can see, this website has 973 referring domains, which is really, really good. They get almost 20,000 different visitors every single month. Again, which is two really positives. We can actually see the traffic trend chart here as well. So we can see the traffic has been rising. It had a small decrease toward the end of December. However, it is rising again, which is really good things to see. If we scroll down, we can see they appear for 16,000 different organic keywords. Again, another good really thing to see. We can go back to the website and check our Mozbar Chrome extension just to find out the page authority and the domain authority of this website, which as you can see has a page authority of 28 and a domain authority of 45. So both these numbers are really good. So on the whole, this is a really good website and is one I'd actually want to get a link from. Whereas the first website is probably one we'd like to avoid, and if you do check the website using Mozbar, you can see they have a page authority of 18 and a domain authority of 19. So both numbers below 20, which is really low. So again, it just goes to show if you do use the Mozbar, you can actually save yourself a lot of work and you probably don't even need to check the website in SEMrush. So once you've gone through Google and you've made a list of all the websites which you'd like to get your guest post featured on, it's a good idea to track all of these websites in a spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet that we use at the agency, and essentially it just makes your life so much more easier when it comes to tracking all of your guest post opportunities. It's actually very handy to have as well if you intend on running your own SEO agency. So the spreadsheet is very straightforward. All we have is the website URL. So in this instance, we'd go over and take the website URL, sweettoeatbaking.com. We'd paste that in like so. We'd get the website's domain authority, which I believe was 45. We can see that up there from the Chrome extension. You can always give that a click just to double check. Domain authority 45. So I'd go ahead and put domain authority 45. I'd put down the number of referring domains this website has. Again, this is all just for reference, so we have more information about the websites we are getting backlinks from. And you can see referring domains is 973. So I'd put 973. The amount of traffic this website gets every single month and the keywords. So let's get traffic and keywords now. Again, both data we can get from SEMrush, 18.6, and we got 16,000. So 18.6, 18,600, and it was 16,000 different keywords. The next two columns, article written and article submitted. This is what we use internally as we have an in-house writer who writes all of our guest post content. So whenever they write an article, they would simply put yes, article is written, and then yes under article submitted. So that would be when we submit the article to the website. And we put the date we submitted the article as well. So all of these things combined just makes it very easy to keep a track of exactly what is going on. Now, don't worry about trying to screenshot this and what columns we have, as I'm going to upload this as a downloadable resource. And one important thing I just want to note as well is when you're going through Google and you're finding all these different websites you can reach out to, you want to make sure that you send each website a unique piece of content. You don't want to send the same article to all of these different websites, as what that results in is you having backlinks from multiple websites that all have the same article and most likely the same anchor text as well. We want to avoid this and we want to look natural. So each website you reach out to, you're going to require a unique piece of content. So as you would have noticed from the first two websites we reviewed, which was Another One Bites the Crust blog.com and sweettoeatbaking.com, both of these websites, to submit a guest post, you actually have to fill in a form on the website. However, you aren't always going to come across sites that have this format. For example, here's another website called cookiemummy.com. If you scroll down on this website, you can see there's actually no form whatsoever. So the way to get in touch with these websites is going to be through email. So what I'm going to do now is head back to our PowerPoint slides and I'll show you a message you can use if you have to reach out to these sites via email. So this is the email template we use when reaching out to websites that state their email address, which, to be fair, you can also use this on websites that have the form submissions as well. There's no reason why you can't just copy and paste this in the message box. But essentially it says, "Hi name, I was researching about topic today and came across your website. Great collection of high quality articles. I am reaching out to you to contribute a high quality post to your blog. Below are the topics which I can write a well-researched post on, topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3. I look forward to hearing from you from one of the topics above, and I'll be sending you the draft as soon as possible. Regards, your name." So you would actually fill in the blanks with what is relevant to your guest post industry. For example, the first line, I was researching about, I would put in cooking today and came across your website. It's all about filling in the blanks and giving websites ideas. However, if a website does tell you topics they'd like you to write about, you obviously don't need to mention topic 1, 2, and 3. So I use this template and it works extremely well. I recommend you use it as well. Do feel free to use your own template as well. But essentially what we want to do is just reach out to a website and let them know we are interested in submitting a guest post on their site.